Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This lecture video is the continuation of my previous lecture video on heterocyclic compounds. Today I shall discuss about two heterocyclic compound, that is imidazole and indole. First I shall discuss about imidazole. Imidazole is a 5-membered heterocyclic compound containing two heteroatoms. Here the two heteroatoms are nitrogen. We can see from the structure of imidazole that two nitrogens are present at number 1 and number 3 position of imidazole. Imidazole is an aromatic compound as well as heterocyclic compound. We can see the 4 resonance contributors of imidazole here. First, the imine nitrogen on imidazole, due to its electronegativity, withdraw the pi electron from this bond, and due to this withdrawal of pi electron, the nitrogen become negative and this carbon become positive. So after that, this positive carbon share the lone pair electron on nitrogen and form a bond between this carbon and nitrogen, and after that this nitrogen become positive and this positive charge will be neutralized, that is imidazole will be converted to like this. After that, due to the influence of this positive nitrogen, the pi electron between these two carbon will shift on this carbon, that is this carbon will become negative and this carbon will become positive. So when this carbon become positive due to the delocalization of this pi electron, the negative nitrogen share its excess electron with this positive carbon and form a bond between this carbon and nitrogen, and this positive charge on carbon will be neutralized and the nitrogen will be also neutral, that is the structure will be like this. So after that, this negative carbon tries to share its excess electron with this nitrogen. When it tries to share its excess electron with this nitrogen, that time the pi electron between the bond between this carbon and nitrogen will shift to this carbon and this carbon will become negative, and after that this carbon can share its excess electron with this nitrogen and the structure will be converted to like this. After that, when this negative carbon tries to share its excess electron with this nitrogen, at that time the pi electron will be shift to this carbon, that is this carbon will become negative and nitrogen will become positive. So then and then this negative carbon can share its excess electron with this positive nitrogen. So after that the structure will be like this. These are the resonance contributors of imidazole. Now about the preparation of imidazole. Imidazole was first synthesized by Heinrich Devers in 1858, but various imidazole derivatives had been discovered as early as the 1840s. His synthesis, as shown below, used glyoxal and formaldehyde in ammonia to form imidazole. During this synthesis, cyclization occurs between glyoxal and formaldehyde. This synthesis, while producing relatively low yields, is still used for creating C-substituted imidazole. The second method for the preparation of imidazole is a general method which is able to give good yields for substituted imidazoles. It is essentially an adaptation of the Devers method called the Devers-Redzhijewski imidazole synthesis. The starting materials are substituted glyoxal, aldehyde, amine, and ammonia. So after that, imidazole or substituted imidazole can be prepared. By the third method, imidazole can be formed by treating a 1,2-diamino alkane at high temperature with an alcohol, aldehyde, or carboxylic acid. A dehydrogenating catalyst such as platinum on alumina is required. By the fourth method, we can also prepare imidazole or 1,4-disubstituted imidazole. If we use the starting material and substituted alpha amino ketone and formamide, in that case the product will be a 1,4-disubstituted imidazole. If the R and R1 is hydrogen, in that case imidazole itself is the product. The yield of this reaction is moderate, but it seems to be the most effective method of making the 1,4 substitution, that is 1,4-disubstituted imidazole. Now about the properties of imidazole. Imidazole behaves as base as well as an acid. When it behaves as base, it accepts proton and form resonance form like this. And when it behaves as an acid, it donates a proton and stable anion form like this. Imidazole with a pKa of 7.1 is a very much stronger base than pyridine, is due to the imidine-like resonance which allows both nitrogen to participate equally in carrying the charge. Similarly, imidazole with a pKa of 14.5 is a acid and donates proton, and it is more acidic than pyrrole. In both cases, very stable cation and anion of imidazole is formed. Now about the hydrogen bonding in imidazoles. Imidazole, like water, is both a good donor and a good acceptor of hydrogen bonds. The imine nitrogen donates an electron pair, and the N hydrogen, being appreciably acidic, is an acceptor, and imidazole form hydrogen bond like this. This property is central to the mode of action of several enzymes which utilize the imidazole ring of a histidine. These include the digestive enzyme chymotrypsin, which brings about amide hydrolysis of peptides in the small intestine. The enzyme provides a proton at one site while it accepts a proton at another, making use of the ambivalent character of the imidazole ring to achieve this. The illustration shows below how the heterocycle allows a proton to shuffle from one site to another via the heterocycle. Actually, the enzyme like chymotrypsin contain imidazole ring. Imidazole in one side provide proton, in another side it accept proton, and during this shuffling hydrolysis of the amide bond of the peptide will occur. So I try to explain the mechanism. For example, this is a polypeptide chain and this is the C terminal of this polypeptide chain. So the terminal carboxyl group tries to withdraw proton from this site because the oxygen of this carboxylic group is negative. It tries to share its excess electron with this hydrogen. So and nitrogen is more electronegative. Due to this influences, then this bond is broken and electron shift to this nitrogen. Nitrogen become negative and this hydrogen become positive. And this negative oxygen share its excess electron with this positive hydrogen. So here imidazole behave as a proton donor. So after that, this negative nitrogen tries to share its excess electron with this carbon, and during this sharing the pi electron between this carbon and nitrogen will shift on this nitrogen. So this carbon will become positive and this nitrogen will become negative. So after that, this negative nitrogen can share its excess electron with this positive carbon. So this new bond will be formed here, and after that this negative nitrogen tries to share its excess electron with hydrogen. Actually, the hydrogen, which is a part of a hydroxyl group of an amino acid, the side chain of amino acid which contain hydroxyl group. For example, serine. We know the serine contain a side chain in which the terminal group of the side chain is hydroxyl group. So this negative nitrogen tries to share its excess electron with this hydrogen, and the bonding electron between the oxygen hydrogen of the hydroxyl group will shift on this oxygen. So after that, this oxygen will become negative and this hydrogen will be separated as proton. So when it's separated as proton, at that time this negative nitrogen can share its excess electron with this proton and can form a bond. Here the nitrogen behave as a proton acceptor. In another side it behave as a proton donor, and here it accepts proton. So after this negative oxygen will attack the carbonyl carbon of a peptide bond, and we know that in carbonyl carbon oxygen withdraw the pi electron between carbon and oxygen, and this oxygen become negative and this carbon become positive. So after that, this oxygen can share its excess electron with this positive carbon, and the structure will be like this. So when this negative oxygen of the carbonyl group in peptide bond tries to share its excess electron with this carbon, due to this influence the bond between this carbon and nitrogen will be broken. When oxygen shares its excess electron with this carbon, at that time the bonding electron will be shift on this nitrogen. So nitrogen will become negative and this carbon will become positive. That's why oxygen can share its excess electron with this carbon, and at that time the hydrolysis of the peptide bond occurs. So after that, this negative nitrogen tries to share its excess electron with the imidazole of chymotrypsin, So when it tries to share its excess electron with this hydrogen, at that time the bond between nitrogen and hydrogen will be broken and electron will be shifted on this nitrogen. So here imidazole ring behave as a proton donor. It donates a proton to this negative nitrogen and nitrogen form bond with this hydrogen. So after that, this negative nitrogen share its excess electron with this carbon, and due to this sharing, the pi electron between this carbon and nitrogen will be shifted to this nitrogen. So nitrogen will become negative and this carbon will become positive. So after that, this negative nitrogen can share its excess electron with this positive carbon. So no charge will be here on nitrogen and carbon. So when this negative nitrogen, at that time it tries to share its excess electron with this positive hydrogen, not positive, with this hydrogen, and due to this influence, the bond between oxygen and hydrogen of the polypeptide chain's C terminal, in that case the electron will be shifted to this oxygen will become negative and the proton will be separated, and after that nitrogen can share its excess electron with this proton. So here nitrogen or imidazole ring accepts proton. This side it donates proton and this side it accepts proton. So here the imidazole ring present in the enzyme chymotrypsin provides in one side proton and in another side it accepts another proton, and due to this proton shuffling, ultimately hydrolysis of the peptide bond occurs. So due to the presence of the imidazole ring in digestive enzyme like chymotrypsin, and due to this proton shuffling, they can hydrolyze peptide bond in polypeptide chain or protein chain. Now about the reaction of imidazole. As imidazole is an aromatic compound, like other aromatic compound, it undergoes substitution reaction. As well as imidazoles also undergo addition reaction. For example, if we do alkylation of imidazole, in that case an alkyl imidazole will be produced as addition product. If we use methyl iodide as alkylating agent, so after that methyl ion and iodide ion will be produced after dissociation of methyl iodide, and the methyl ion will share the lone pair electron of the imine nitrogen of imidazole, and this methyl group will form bond with this nitrogen and the compound will be converted to like this. So after forming bond with this methyl group, nitrogen will become positive. So in that stage, nitrogen tries to withdraw the pi electron towards it because its charge is positive. So due to its influence, the pi electron shift on this nitrogen, and this nitrogen will become neutral and this carbon will become positive. So after that, this nitrogen and share its lone pair of electron with this positive carbon, and this carbon will be neutral but this nitrogen will become positive. So when this nitrogen become positive, in that case it tries to withdraw the bonding electron between nitrogen and hydrogen to get its lone pair of electron. That is, in that case hydrogen will be separated as proton and nitrogen will get its lone pair of electron and it has no charge, and this positive hydrogen, that is proton, will share the excess electron on the iodide ion and it will be converted to hydrogen iodide, and after the completing the reaction the product will be N-methyl imidazole. If we do further alkylation, that is if we use excess alkylating agent like methyl iodide, in that case this compound will be converted to like this, that is N prime dimethyl imidazole will be formed. Similarly, if we do acylation of imidazole using an acylating agent like acetic anhydride, in that case the N-acetyl imidazole will be produced like alkylation reaction. If we do nitration of imidazole using nitric acid and sulfuric acid, in that case the major product will be the 4-nitro-imidazole. Some percentage of 2-nitro and 5-nitro-imidazole will also be produced, but the 4-nitro-imidazole is the major product after nitration. So this is a substitution reaction. If we do sulfonation reaction of imidazole, in that case we'll get 5-sulfonyl imidazole as the major product. So if we do halogenation, in that case polyhalogenation will occur if we use bromine, acetic acid and sodium acetate at room temperature. In that case 2,4,5-dibromoimidazole will be produced. So if we treat this 2,4,5-tribromoimidazole with sodium sulfate, in that case 4-bromoimidazole will be produced. So if we react this 4-bromoimidazole with sodium chlorate and sodium hydroxide at room temperature, in that case we will get 4-bromo-5-chloroimidazole as a substituted product. Now about the synthesis of pharmaceutically important compound which contain imidazole ring. Here I am showing two examples. One is azomycin and another is metronidazole. First, I shall discuss about the synthesis of azomycin. For azomycin synthesis, the starting material is imidazole. So, in the first step, imidazole react with triphenyl chloromethane in triethylamine as solvent. So after this reaction, the triphenyl methyl group will replace the hydrogen and this nitrogen will be blocked by a bulky group like this. So in the second step, this protected imidazole will react with butyl lithium and N-propyl nitrate. So after this reaction, nitration will occur and the nitro group will be substituted at the 2 position of imidazole. So after the second step, this substituted nitro product, that is nitroimidazole, will hydrolyzed using hydrochloric acid in methanol. During this hydrolysis, this bulky phenyl triphenyl methyl group will be replaced and this compound will be produced, that is 2-nitroimidazole, which is known as azomycin. This is an antibiotic product. Now I shall discuss about the synthesis of metronidazole. For metronidazole synthesis, the starting material is 2-methyl-imidazole. So at first we have to do nitration with this 2-methyl-imidazole. In that case, two product will be formed. That is, one is 4-nitro and another is 5-nitro. That is, we'll get mixture of two compound. One is 2-methyl-4-nitroimidazole and another is 2-methyl-5-nitroimidazole. So here I am showing only one. After that, both the compound will react with ethylene oxide. In ethylene oxide, any of the bond between carbon and oxygen will be broken, because oxygen, due to its electronegativity, withdraw the bonding electron towards oxygen and this oxygen become negative and this carbon become positive. So after that, this positive carbon will share the lone pair electron of nitrogen and form a bond with this. So after attacking the positive carbon of ethylene oxide, the bond will be like this. Negative oxygen, positive carbon share the lone pair electron of nitrogen, and after that this nitrogen will become positive. So nitrogen tries to get its lone pair of electron. That's why it withdraw the bonding electron between nitrogen and hydrogen, and due to this withdrawal of the bonding electron, nitrogen gets its lone pair of electron and it has no positive charge, that is, it becomes negative. But this hydrogen here separate as proton, and this proton sharing the excess electron on oxygen will be converted to hydroxyl group like this. So after reacting with ethylene oxide, this 2-methyl-4-nitroimidazole will be converted to like this, and 2-methyl-5-nitroimidazole will be converted to like this. So here also we will get mixture of two compound, but the 2-methyl-4-nitroimidazole compound is inactive. Inactive in the sense it has no anti-protozoal activity, but the 5-nitroimidazole compound, that is 2-methyl-5-nitroimidazole compound, which is known as metronidazole, is an anti-protozoal drug which is used to treat anaerobic protozoal infection. That's why this is the active drug and this is the inactive drug. So from the mixture we have to separate this compound which has pharmaceutical importance. So these are the example of two pharmaceutically important products synthetic pathway which contain imidazole ring in their structure. Now about another heterocyclic compound, that is indole. In indole, a 5-member heterocyclic ring is fused with another 6-member homocyclic ring. We can see from the structure of indole. Here the heteroatomy is nitrogen. We can also see the resonance contributors of indole. When The heteroatom nitrogen share its lone pair of electron with adjacent carbon. In that case, due to the delocalization of the pi electron, it forms different resonance form like this. First, the delocalization of pi electron occurs inside the 5-member ring, and then delocalization of the pi electron occurs in the 6-member ring. Actually, indole form different resonance form. That's why I here mention only few resonance form. Actually, it forms different resonance form, first within the 5-member ring and then within the 6-member ring. Now about the preparation of indole. We can prepare or synthesize indole by different method. The first method is leaf synthesis. In this method, ortho-amino omega chlorostyrene is heated with sodium ethoxide at 160 to 170 degree centigrade. By this reaction, we can synthesize indole. And the second method is Fischer-Indole synthesis. In this method, pyruvic acid is heated with phenyl hydrazine to form corresponding phenyl hydrazone. The hydrazone is then heated with anhydrous zinc chloride to give indole 2-carboxylic acid, which on decarboxylation yields indole. By Rieser synthesis method, we can also prepare indole. In this method, orthonitrotoluene is condensed with diethyl oxalate in the presence of a base like sodium ethoxide to form a 2-keto ester. This is then reduced with zinc and glacial acetic acid to give indole 2-carboxylic acid, which on decarboxylation gives indole, like the pathway. Now about the chemical properties of indole. As indole is an aromatic compound, like other aromatic compound, indole also undergoes electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. During electrophilic substitution reaction, electrophile can attack any carbon of the 5-member ring or 6-member ring of the indole, but the preferential position is 2 and 3, because 2 and 3 is very near to the heteroatom nitrogen. So that's why electrophile usually prefer 2 or 3 position of indole during electrophilic substitution reaction. But which is the preferential position for electrophilic substitution in case of indole? So we can see from the figure that if electrophile attack and position 3, in that case it forms 2 resonance contributor like this. And if the electrophile attack at position 2, in that case it forms only 1 resonance form during electrophilic substitution reaction. As we know that more resonance form, the more stable the product. So from the resonance form we can see that if an electrophile attack at position 3 of indole, in that case the 3 substituted product will be the more stable product in case of indole. That's why during electrophilic substitution in case of indole, the preferred position is 3. That is, 3 substituted product will be the major product during electrophilic substitution reaction. Here I am showing some chemical reactions of indole. Actually, these reactions are electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. If we do nitration of indole, in that case 3-nitroindole will be the major product. If we do sulfonation of indole, in that case indole 3-sulfonic acid will be the major product. And if we do bromination of indole, in that case the major product will be 3-bromoindole. If we do acylation reaction, in that case 3-acyl indole will be the major product after electrophilic substitution reaction. If we react indole with benzene diazonium salt, in that case indole 3-diazonium will be the major product after electrophilic substitution reaction. If we do formylation reaction like Reimer-Tiemann reaction, in that case indole 3-formaldehyde will be the major product after electrophilic substitution reaction. So these reactions are the example of electrophilic substitution reaction. Indole also undergoes reaction if we use suitable reducing agent. If we use reducing agent like metal acid combination, for example tin and hydrochloric acid, in that case dihydroindole will be the product after reduction. And if we do hydrogenation of indole using hydrogen gas in the presence of a metal catalyst like nickel, in that case octahydroindole will be the major product after reduction reaction. Now about the synthesis of a pharmaceutically important compound which contain indole ring in its structure. For example, synthesis of ondansetron. We can see from the structure of ondansetron that it contains a indole ring in its structure. For the synthesis of ondansetron, we have to start with phenyl hydrazine and cyclohexane 1,3-di-1. When these two substances react with each other, a condensation reaction will occur and a molecule of water will be eliminated and this product will be produced, which is then react with zinc chloride. So after reacting with zinc chloride, one molecule of ammonia will be eliminated and a new bond will be formed between these two carbon and this product will be produced. After that, this compound have to react with methyl iodide and potassium carbonate, and after this reaction methyl group will be introduced at this position with this nitrogen and this will be the product. After that, this product will have to react with formaldehyde, dimethylamine and then methyl iodide. After this reaction, a compound will be produced like this, which is then have to react with 2-methyl imidazole, and after this reaction the final product will be like this, whose given name is ondansetron. Ondansetron is an anti-vomiting agent which is used to prevent vomiting during cancer chemotherapy and radiotherapy. That's all for today. If you like my lecture video, then don't forget to click the like button. You can also share this video to your friends and can also put your comments. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Your subscription will encourage me to make more lecture video for you all. Thank you.